Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top right side as the green Mongols, we have a foreign name. Spawn bottom left side as the pink Jeanne d'Arc. Got VES Myriad. It's been a while since the last cast Jeanne d'Arc, so this should be quite fun. Let's see, when it comes to map generation, I'm going to fast forward since the early eco phase. The Mongol player has a nice deposit of wood right here, which provides natural coverage. The Ovo way down here, so very exposed. So Ovo is probably going to go down. It's going to be difficult to keep hold of that if the French, or should I say Jeanne d'Arc, decides to destroy it. Gold and wood, both good safe spots here. This gold deposit is also in a good safe spot, so plenty of gold nearby. Berries exposed, other berries exposed. Deer deposit exposed, but could perhaps be herded back home. When it comes to Pink's map generation, wood is up in front, so good. Oh, we got actually a pile of walls here for an anti-spearman rush. There's a barracks, however, he spots all this, so he may just not go for the spearman rush because of all that. Either way, other noticeable spots. Gold and stone behind the tree deposit. This gold's also behind this tree deposit with a large berry deposit there. Very safe. Trade post in a good position for Chamber of Commerce. We're not going to see the Chamber of Commerce. It is Chamber of Commerce. It will be a very fun replay indeed. And we do have this trade post here. Perfectly good, safe for the Mongol player, though. Then again, there's no natural trees help for protection. School cavalry going on up. And the deer stones, there. I cannot speak right now, can I? Large gold deposits are both in the center exposed. Nothing too fantastic about it. So it all seems like map generation is pretty balanced for both sides. My apologies, I'm going to open up a nearby. School cavalry is not complete. We're going to see an early royal knight. Not the fact that it's early, just that it's early. Green does obtain 15 sheeple. Pink has obtained 13. Make that 16 or 13 now. To be honest, the fact that the Mongol player went for an early barracks is not too big of an issue. He's fighting against the Jeanne d'Arc, and Jeanne d'Arc, as well as the French, Royal Knights are going to be a constant problem, and Kashyyyks are inadequate versus them, though we do have ×2 Kashyyk on the build queue. And Jeanne d'Arc can now be leveled up. Yeah, my mouse is broken, so it's double clicks quite a bit. By the way, it does go for the Huntress variant. Let's see, where's she at? She's way back here. May pick off some of these deer. Does get a nice impalement there. Kashyyyks are actually not that great for his heavy armor, as a strange thing about them. They have high attack speed, but they have low base health. Knight in comparison, minus the 3 damage from the armor, will do 16 damage per strike. Versus the Mongols, who do 12 damage per strike. But they do have higher attack speed. The lower base health is quite bad. And they do cost 200 resources, still pretty expensive for them. The 3 health on hit is something I can't really calculate though. But the Kashyyks are very vulnerable to crossbows and thanks to lower health. We got 3 Royal Knights here. Kashyyks cannot contest with that. Though we do have 2 more Kashyyks here. Scout may cause some issues. Scout needs to target the Khan. The Khan is classified as Scout, which means those receive bonus damage from Scouts. Some charge attacks there. And depending how the Kashyyks attack, the Kashyyks can actually lose this fight since the Scout could absorb unnecessary damage. Really probably should have gone for at least a hardened spearman upgrade by now. More Royal Knights being summoned. Ovo's down half of its stone. Does find a Royal Knight there. Does get peppered up a little bit. The Jeanne player goes for Chivalry now. The Mongol player has resources for Spearmen and for ×2 Spearmen, so I'm not sure what he's eyeing. This will get a bit of free raid bounty. Try and pick off the Khan. Decides to let the Khan take the charge attacks. Does get picked off there. Could use a speed arrow there. Having the Khan take the attacks is actually not a bad idea, because the Khan doesn't provide too much DPS. All depends whether or not the arrow's on cooldown or not, which honestly couldn't tell you if it was on cooldown or not. And even then, a speed arrow is nice to have, but nothing too critical. So having the Khan taking damage is actually a good thing. Ovo's being rebuilt, has 500 stones there. Got 12 Keshiks in the field, 2 more on the way. Okay, do have nice divine arrow there, getting a good bit of damage there. Impales that same Keshik there. This other one gets severely impaled and gets picked off as well. So far, green has managed to pick off 2 villagers, like on the deer deposits. And the mill has been burnt down the ground, can no longer grind these deer up to a thin red paste. We got a single spearman on the field, another spearman on the way. They are Dark Age spearmans. Local doggo demands head pat. The thing is, well, when it comes to wolves, actually wolves, if you ever pet domesticated wolves, or even just somewhat captivity wolves, not necessarily domesticated, you don't give them head pats. Because wolves, like most canine, recognize head pats as a form of domination rather than submissiveness. So in short, you're expressing domination over a wolf. You push his head down with a head pat. If you want to pet a wolf, pet its underneath its in his chin, and in this lower part of its mouth and neck area. That is where the wolves rub against each other for their scent glands. So when a wolf and a wolf will also rub itself up against you like a giant cat. Oh, lay an entire body into it. Your number catches here, so this should be cracked open to get the nice juicy interior. We'll take some charge attacks. Really wants villagers dead. Now it's starting to fall back. Right now there's 14 Keshiks versus first 14 Royal Knights. The Khan needs to go for the maneuver arrow. Does go for the maneuver arrow, gets all of them there. But that's a bad move there. Should have kept on running. The Khan, of course, taking some pot shots there, and these maneuvering there, slowing down the formation. And not to mention the charge effects. There's trees in the way. This is going to be bad for the Mongol player. Does not trap any of the catch there. May have been able to trap 1 or 2 of them. Spearmen should be thrown in to buy some time. And got some good number of spearmans there. Has repositioned the deer stones. Could see some divine arrows. Divine arrow has been casted. Divine restoration has been deployed on the field, or can be deployed on the field. Some of these Keshiks are quite wounded. Spearman's advancing. Since Jeanne d'Arc is classified as an archer, she does actually get bonus damage versus light melee. Not only because she's classified as armor, but she acts as an archer. Just spamming out divine arrows is almost a good idea. If you're tend to be floating at least one charge. So using when you ever can is generally a good idea for Jeanne d'Arc. Good amount of chivalry here, gain some good amount of health for Jeanne. The Khan's Kashyyyks take quite a bit of damage there, and they will not be recover their health. Does take some damage there. Do now the Kashyyyks charge way forward. One outpost does get destroyed. Big engagement there. Spearmen trying to squeeze their way forward. Jeanne d'Arc has a handful of archers in the field, but nothing too crazy. Jeanne d'Arc does pick off one of the spearmans. Maybe I need to have... Oh, restoration's on cooldown. I was going to say, cast restoration, get it on cooldown. Right now, there are 16 Kashyyyks for 23 Royal Knights, so Kashyyyks severely outnumbered. Heard some deletion orders. Of course, moving pink side, maybe... Yep, I was thinking maybe it was those walls. It was, in fact, those walls. Right now, the Jeanne d'Arc player is actually pretty close to aging up. 1,000 food, 300 gold. The Mongol player is very far from aging up. Civilian count, they're quite even. Of course, green has cut off 2 villages. I can probably hide away the sheeple numbers. Got a number of pastures here. Kashyyyks charging way forward. Some of these Royal Knights may have been picked off there. Good number of villages have been picked off. Sorry, sort of missed a bit of that. The Khan's arrows on cooldown. Does get some good damage there. Does find some villagers here who are idle on that gold deposit. I had a bit of lag spike there, weirdly enough. Jeanne d'Arc has fallen. Just maybe over here. I think I saw a missing symbol over there. I was too busy in the villager counts down here. My apologies for missing that fight. But I think this is a bit more important engagement. Pink has lost a significant number of villagers. Right now it's 52 versus a 36, so the Mongol player has a pretty nice lead there. Also has level 1 wood collection, which is actually pretty rare because a lot of times Mongol players just don't get that, any economic tax. Some of these Kashyyyks do take some damage there. Does use the speed arrow there. Decides to eat some of the charges early. The Khan looks like will be picked off there. It was pretty low in health. Honestly, it will probably respawn in time. It takes 2 minutes. Good number of spearmans here. That can actually pose a threat to this region. No scouts here, but the tower can't see into shrubbery. Villagers need to actually run, not garrison. And start torching down that area. Some of these Royal Knights do receive some stabs there. Going to rotate around. Bit of a dance here. The Kashyyyks could just take time to start attacking the outpost while he margos the spearmans. He needs to start cracking that open. Villagers do get on out. Charge attack there. He's going to try to save the units there. 4 villagers remain. Jeanne d'Arc has still pretty close to aging up. That goes quickly on down. Looks like this additional torches research. Nope, so just 13. Jeanne d'Arc has not aged up, leveled up. Now the mounted archer variant. Divine arrow goes from 40 damage to a staggering 100 damage, which means she herself can pick off a spearman per charge. That becomes very useful. Kashix also have 150 health, so easy 2-shot there if needed. And even taking out 2/3 of his health is still pretty nice. What type of variant? Oh, she does go for the Jeanne's champions for the mana at arms. With the amount of Royal Knights she's on the field, could have gone for the Raiders to go for counter cavalry, though right now she's having trouble with the Spearmen, which so the champions will get some good work done there. Girdle tie going on up right over here. I thought these villagers would take for the doing the girdle tie, but not the case. Good number of archers here to intercept these spearmans. Jeanne d'Arc is close to aging up. Down quite a bit of civilians. Let's see. The Royal Institute could be nice, but not particularly great. Or Guildhall. Guildhall probably a better option, but does take a bit of time. Not sure which landmark she should age up with. Girdle tie now complete, and a good time as well because the Khan will need to go for defense soon, and the Girdle tie is an excellent defensive landmark. So spring golden placements here. Guildhall going on up. I say the Royal Institute's better if you want to be aggressive because you get early royal biology. While the Guildhall is just better economic, which can provide more value, will provide you more value as the game goes longer. While the Royal Institute does give you a lot of defense almost immediately. I'm not sure what structure or wagon got torched down there. Probably the barracks. Maybe that was the stable. There was an opening there. A couple of Green's villagers to go down for now. Green killed off 20 villagers. Pink killed off 2. Oh, look at this now. I don't remember seeing this in the whatchamacallit, the updated UI. You can now see what's in the Guildhall and what resource there. That is so nice. I wonder if there's a pop-up down here for a player. Actually, if you don't mind, let's get out cast a vision. I don't see it down here, so maybe not. That could be very nice for... Yeah, that could be very nice. Oh, what landmark was that? Was it the Deerstone? Yep. Deerstone does go down. It will have trouble redeploying because there's a landmark nearby, so it'll probably migrate down south a little bit. For a replay tab, this is quite nice, but I can easily see that being very nice for a non-replay down the bottom left. So make some good headway over here. Got a good number of pastures. Let's switch over to green, see how many pastures he has on the field. Currently has 8. Girdle tie redeploy back there. It's going to have trouble making some coverage, but it looks like it's good enough coverage for now. Got these forces straight forward. If the Girdle tie can redeploy over here, that would be fantastic. Got a good number of outposts here, being upgraded spring golds just to keep the villagers safe, extra villager storage. Kashix push way forward. We have now a nice, very nice defense arrow. However, without the whistling arrow upgrade, does not last for very long. Right now as well, Jeanne d'Arc is still classified as light cavalry, so crossbow will not count her, though they'll still slug her for a little bit of damage. Crossbow have 80 health, so they will get one shot by divine arrows as well. Do now the curl tie being reestablished over here. Got these units falling on back. These units take a bit of damage there. Right now, we do have the Mongol Fighters going for crossbow and Keshiks. The Jeanne d'Arc players just going for more Royal Knights, so has a healthy number of archers in the field. Going for more archers now. Pinks become some relics. And that's the first relic I actually picked up. Yep, looks like Deerstone's having trouble redeploying. Oh, we do have the Whistling Arrow being upgraded. Very, very good. Doubles the duration, which is immensely powerful. It is also worth it to go for the improved stone version. 2 extra seconds is very nice. Not to mention, the extra radius makes it a bit more reliable casting as well. We do have another curl tie, and these horses trying to push the way forward. Here, something being... There it goes. Curl tie being reestablished now. Of course, of the oh, got the arrow there, not the defense arrow. Grim attack speed all these units, allowing the crossmen to slug these heavy cavalry much quicker. Now the Royal Knights heading, or the Keshiks heading towards these archers. Overall, horsemen are far more cost-effective against regular archers, so it's a good idea to probably go a heavy amount of horsemen until you are max out population when fighting against archers. So we're going to start push way forward. Looks like green will lose the fight, but not necessarily pink did all too well either. When it comes to destroyed value, green has a higher wait, note they have very even destroyed value. It's the white text. Couple Jeanne's champions goes on down there. The Khan is pretty close to death. Has right now 8 damage per arrow, which is not too great, but much better than the previous ages. And the curl tie gets trapped. Oh, Jeanne is about ready to level up. Which means she can get out cannon this age? That could be very good. Probably gonna go for cannon rather than go for more Jeanne's champions. The more Jeanne's champions is still pretty good. I think it's about losing this landmark as well. Jeanne d'Arc could just dogpile in the town center, the capital. Go for some trebuchets here to start sieging it. Though the capital can't always just pack up and try to run away if that happens. Pink managed to obtain every single relic. Big pile of upgrades here. Spearman does go down there. Villager does go down there. Crossbow firing away. We do have another. Jeanne d'Arc has now leveled up. She probably has going to increase attack speed now. The Valor's Aura. Next, she does go for the one with the cannon. That's usually by default. Divine Restoration may have saved her. Right now, her attack is 30 damage herself, which also does have a lot of bonus damage versus building, some damage versus infantry. And her cannonballs now do 150 damage. Jeanne d'Arc does go down there, which she's going to be expensive to replace. In fact, oh, you can Jeanne d'Arc has now respawn for free rather than paying immediate. I don't remember that ever aspect. Maybe I just usually see people mainly deploy her. Do now the red palace been pulled on the field. Got a number of these buildings, Divine Consecration. Got these catches pushing along the flank. The red palace being established way up here. That's going to be a really good spot there. In fact, some of these reinforcements being picked off. The colony has been rebuilt. Do you have the improved raid, or the raid bounties not being researched? Improving the amount gets raided. Did I see Jeanne d'Arc fire 2 rounds? Or does it have to mix the cannon and herself? Trying to stop the six-site victory has been stopped. 150 damage per attack, so even the Keshes take a bit of damage from that. We do have now the Elite Archer research on the way for Jeanne d'Arc. Going for Incendiaries will be very nice, since Jeanne d'Arc as well as French go for Arbaletiers later on. Mongol players going for Horseman. He has researched the regular Horseman upgrade, upgrading early Horseman, the regular Horseman. Looks like this got knocked around a little bit. Shaman does go down. I'll put around that structure. Monistic Shrine being researched. Which may help these. Yep, got a good number of pastures going on up. How many pastures does green have at the moment? 18. Jeanne d'Arc right now is classified as Siege Cavalry, suggests to me Horsemen will do bonus damage to her. Veteran Royal Knight upgrading on the way. Ooh, got one sheep down right there. And that villager will be picked on off. Right now she does 28 damage per strike, no textiles. So she will two-shot these villagers. Catch is trying to intercept her. The Mongol player is not aged up just yet. Could either go for the Cognitive Palace or for the White Stupa. Jeanne d'Arc has now gone down. Cognitive Palace now being pulled in the field. None of those Royal Knights do get picked off. Got a healthy number of horsemen on the field to help intercept. Now the Val's Aura there. Defense Arrow now activated. Jeanne d'Arc is not taking too much damage at the moment. Looks like the crossman takes something else on. And looks like I just saw the gold food just withdrawn from the guild hall. So I'm not sure how much. Elite Horseman on the way, as well as Elite Crossbowman for the Mongol player. First unit from the Cognitive Palace is the Hui Hui Pao, which is a nice little siege weapon, but not great at this moment. Right now, it could probably stand to get something to give him Khan's Hunters, like the Rus Archers or the Magidai. Nessa Bees would be probably very nice as well. Next round is the Elite Palace Guard. Now the Royal Bloodlines being researched among all the other grades. We have now the Val's Aura on top of the cannon, improving its attack speed. Takes out the structure there. Horseman pushing way forward. Horseman pushing on the flank. We got a good number of horsemen in the field to hit all the range units. Going straight for the Royal Cannon. Very nice. Divine Restoration there. We got the Defense Arrow there. Heard the passives pull in the field, providing a passive armor and a range for the Arbiteers. Palace Guards now charging way forward as well. They do have the Battle Hardened upgrade. Pink's armor looks like will be picked on off. Let's pick off some of those archers there. Jeanne d'Arc does go down there, immediately gets resummoned, spending 1,000 gold on her. Horseman straight forward, some Palace Guard there, crossbow not really advancing. The Khan's on this formation. There's the Khan. Khan right now does have 24 base damage in this age. Takes out the monk there. Villagers being pursued. Horsemen still engaging these villagers. Jeanne now going with some hand cannoneers, so horsemen still be a good call for the Mongol player. And he has been getting a healthy number of palace guard. Got around of elite horse archers, got some Khan's hunters, as well as some Myriad, so got a good amount of ranged cavalry without both training any ranged cavalry. Also now going for some roost knights. We've gotten another defense arrow there, very nice to see. Thanks to the extra duration, it's able to just withstand much longer. Oh, starting to torch down the guild hall now. 21 damage per torch. I don't think there's any additional torches. The guild hall's going down quickly. Nice thing about horsemen and the free palace guard, they just have damage. Right now with nearby Khan's hunter, these elite crossmen have +1 range. Monster does go down there as well. All the relics appear to be dropped. And Green just cleaving through structures. And not mention he has the improved, has the raid bounty, not the improved raid bounty. Does not have a stone bounty, which is something that a Mongol player really probably should have tried to get in the start of conflict like this. But the Mongol player got quite a bit of raid bounties there. More crossmen being deployed in the field. The Mongol player still has that Hui Pow, which might be sieging. Yeah, perfect. The Hui Pow may be by itself, but sieging down the Red Palace is very nice. Piss off some outlying villagers as well. Another defense arrow there, hitting the villagers quite hard now. Pink's losing a significant number of them. Mongol player's not going for biology, not improved biology, needs more stone. They should have got their raid bounties. All these guys just want to fall back there. Good number of horsemen on the field. Oh, thanks. Somebody subscribe to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the channel. I'm not even doing a live recording, but when I have OBS open, I hear those sound effects. We have a good number of hand cannoneers now in the field. We got the Val's aura now activated there, but the aura is pretty small. See, next round from the Khan's Palace appears to be more elite horse archers, which also does provide some replacement Khan's hunters. Oh, looks like the Hui Pow took some damage there. Can't be charging forward like that. Oh, Green's actually going to dog pow onto this. Ooh, just garrison. Get those bolts firing. It has no, does have 6 inherent fire armor, and does manage to overrun the Red Palace there. And I mentioned there's a lot of raid bounties that can get obtained there. Elite Spear on the way for the Mongol player. Trying to obtain the Kurultai, very nice. And Canyoneers firing away. Got a good number of these Royal Knights engaging. Got another defense arrow there, no attack speed arrow. Not sure what would be better at this moment. Defense arrow is just generally a good call. Divine Restoration has been summoned. Divine Blast needs to start being utilized a bit more. Curl Tie is completed, which means all these guys get additional plus 20% firepower, not to mention some health regen. But it looks like it's a little bit too late. Curl Tie not packing up and getting on out of there. Destroying those forms one at a time. Notice the Curl Tie going down again. Can always activate the Gallop ability. Well, the Gallop research is not actually inherently researched by the elite horse archers. The Gallop ability is still active, can be available. Yeah, it doesn't get the passive range increases. But with the nearby Collins Hunter, its range can get up to 9 tile range, which is quite significant. Marines pushing forward, armies maxed out. Jeanne d'Arc has 69 units, nowhere near maxed out. Starting to turn around and engage. Horsemen, however, in very healthy numbers. Do have another Valorous Aura there, improve the Canyoneers' attack speed. Royal Knights starting to get overran. And we've got the Mongol, elite horse archers activating Gallop there, getting +2 range. Jeanne d'Arc does go down. That's going to be excessively resummoned. Have to use the guild hall for the gold for that. Green's army is slowly being whittled down though. Nope, I didn't did not see this, my apologies. But there's enough defenses nearby to whittle these forces down, not to mention a good number of horsemen, spearmen, and the Khan. Got the Arbalest replacement from the town side doing some damage. Even though the Red Palace is down, the Arbalest replacement does not get removed. Jeanne d'Arc's having trouble replenishing her army. Mongol player is actually pretty much out of gold. Has a healthy number of markets here, just doesn't have too many traders on the field. And population cap. But does have raid bounties, so the gold institution may improve. Maybe the improved raid bounty upgrade would be very nice. They could get some extra gold in his pocket. Attack speed arrow there. That's a lot of things that Green could raid. If he can manage to get those destroyed, he would get a lot of gold from that. Does use another Divine Restoration there. Quick Pow still doing some good work. I wonder if that's still the original Quick Pow. More of the Elite Palace Guard on the build queue. Pearl tie has been redeployed there. Very nice. Mongol players just swarm forward with spearmen and horsemen. Some cheap units cost wood. They'll also allow him to get some gold. Now these traders being disrupted as well. That's not great. Pink does need that gold income. Guild Hall is 2,000 gold. Withdraw it now. If he has no other time, redraw it, get Jeanne d'Arc on the field, and get whatever force on the field possible. The Jeanne d'Arc's already on the field. Never mind about that, but still should probably withdraw from the Guild Hall. Mongol players getting some more crossmen, more horsemen, more spearmen. Another weekly POW on the build queue. This first one was doing very well. The second one can do very well as well. Keep here to help him keep this land. But it's immediately getting hit by the weekly POW. And Pink does resign there. There's AngradeVT saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.